Hello everyone and welcome to Stefan's podcast, the podcast for everything Japanese news and what's been going on in the big wide world in Japan. Hope you're having an absolutely lovely day. We've got some great news stories for you, so let's jump straight into it. The first news story for you is about Japanese bears. And Japanese bears, let me tell you something, they are not your friend, they certainly are not. And you know what is not your friend as well is guns. And the Japanese government are in a weird place at the moment because they're having lots of bear attacks, but I didn't know this until today, you are not allowed to shoot a bear in a residential area in Japan. So even if a bear is attacking you, it's illegal for you to shoot the bear. I didn't know this at all. Apparently, if you're a hunter and you have a hunting rifle, you have to phone the police and get them to give you the go-ahead to say, yes, you can shoot the bear. Can you imagine a bear's coming right at you and you're like, whoa, time out, Mr. Bear. Stop. Let me phone the police and let me see if I can deal with you properly. You're ringing up, the bear's sitting there going, come on, I'm just eating my honey, bro, let's go. And then you phone the police officer and you say, hey, I'm a hunter and I want to know if I can shoot this bear or not. And it's Japan, so that police officer is going to phone another police officer, that police officer is going to phone another police officer, and the police officer there is going to phone 6 other people behind them until finally it comes back down the thing saying, no, sorry, we don't quite know about that. That could be a little bit difficult. If you could just deal with that yourself, that would be fantastic. It's crazy. So the current rule at the moment in Japan is if you have a gun, you can't shoot them in a residential area unless you get the go-ahead from the police. And the police apparently, according to the news article in Japan today, pretty much never give this out to anyone. They would rather, of course, go and deal with it themselves and sort it out themselves. But now they're making it so that if you're a hunter and a bear does come into a residential area, you are allowed to shoot it in what they call emergency shooting. So I don't know, if the bear's charging at you, you can shoot it down, take it out, or whatever an emergency shooting is. That sounds horrible. If I'm like a hunter in this and a bear is coming through town, it's one of those things you just go, I'm not getting involved with this. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. Having a gun in Japan at all just seems like an absolute nightmare. I was just reading about the stuff that they have to have if you have a gun in Japan. The police can come to your house anytime to check the gun and also the ammo. I don't know what the ammo difference makes. I guess it's if you get that like, what's that John Wick ammo that when it fires, it shoots fireballs out? Dragon's breath ammo. That is very cool. I imagine that's probably highly illegal in Japan. And although it doesn't look very fun, Can you do that for target practice here in Japan? Probably not. Anything fun here in Japan is banned, but that would be fun to just have a little fire thing. But so at the moment, the rule is if there's a bear coming at you, you can't do anything basically. Unless you're in the forest, then I think you're pretty much okay. You're all good to go. But if you're in a town, bear attacks you, you're dead, pretty much. You have to leave the bear alone. You have to wait for the police to come and carry your dead corpse away. So they're trying to change this, that you can shoot it if there's an emergency situation. It hasn't gone through yet. They're still planning this bill to like go through all the housing and stuff. But they're saying the Japanese government want this changed by, I think it was August time, August or fall. August or autumn. I think it was autumn in here. They want it in there because that's when most of the bear attacks come. And the last year in Japan, there was a lot of bear attacks. When I first started doing the podcast out here, pretty much every story for the first couple of weeks was a bear attack. And it feels good after taking a few weeks off to come back and talk about bears again, because there's nothing more that I love than a bear story in Japan. It just goes hand in hand like ramen, anime, sushi. It really does. It's the best part of Japan, that and earthquakes. And don't even get me started on earthquakes. Last night I could not sleep. I say I could not sleep. I could sleep, and I was having a nightmare about earthquakes. I then come to find that I wake up. The reason why I've dreamt that there's an earthquake is because I'm like half hanging off the bed, going like this, twitching, because I've fallen off the bed and I don't really realise. And then my body thinking that was an earthquake. Oh, it was not a fun dream. Dreams in Japan, they are absolutely not fun at all. But we've got some more news stories coming for you from Japan. Oh, more life-size gangbang. If you're lucky enough to bounce around Japan, you might have seen some of these life-size Gangnams around. They are very cool, they're pretty nice, and Japan wants more of them because, of course, they're freaking awesome. Everybody wants to see them. So, in the grand old city of Shizuoka City Council gathered for their regular meeting, and one of the discussions this week is if they're going to get a brand new Gundam, and I hope they do because these are a lot of fun. I would love to have one of these in Tsushima. In fact, actually, funny enough with these, I was messing around with Photoshop recently, and I took a nice picture of me and a friend, and in the back of the picture, there was a huge background in it, and I didn't know what to do with the space. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to have some fun with this, and I put a Godzilla behind me, I put a Gangnam behind me. It was really cool, and I would have loved for this not to be in Photoshop because it takes a long time to do that, and just to have a Gangnam. I would love Tsushima to put one of these out in the ocean, standing tall on one of the rock bits out there, life size. That would be very cool. Tsushima, look into it. It would attract some tourists. Tsushima needs tourists, and we also need money. This would bring in some more money. How expensive would it be to build a life-size Gangnam and to make sure that the waves of Tsushima don't take it away? That's not my problem. That's for smarter people than me to sort out, probably into the millions, but it would be very cool nonetheless. We've got some other news stories for you. We certainly have. I wrote down a lot of stuff on my phone, and now let's see if we can bring it up. We have, what's been going on with me recently? I went to karaoke for the first time in a long, long time. And I have to say, I have lived in Japan for almost 3 years, and I'm still absolutely terrible at karaoke. But if you come here for the first couple of times and you wonder, what should I do? What are the etiquette around karaoke? How does it work? It depends what sort of place you go to. There's going to be, I'd say, 3 different places of karaoke. 2 of them are more common, and then 1 is pretty rare. 1 is like the stage karaoke, which we have maybe in the US or the UK, where you actually have to go up onto a stage in a bar and sing karaoke. That is pretty rare. I've only seen 1 place of those here in Japan, and that is in Tsushima. And those ones, pretty much the same as the UK, US, type it in, sing the song, hope you're good. If you're not, you're going to know about it and feel very, very awkward. The next one is one of the most commons, which is just a bar which has a karaoke machine sort of floating around. So it'll be going around between everyone. You can sing a little song and then you hand it over to someone else. My recommendations for this, if you're going to come and do karaoke for the first time, is before you actually go to the bar, try and find a song that you actually know the lyrics to. That is a good start, because trust me, there have been songs that I think, I think I know how that goes. I've gone in, tapped in the song, it comes up, and then I realise I don't know the lyrics to this song at all, and now I'm having to read this and sing it at the same time. I'm dyslexic, so reading and singing do not go together hand in hand. Absolutely, they do not. Reading and doing anything just doesn't go hand in hand, so you've got to be careful with that. But if I know the lyrics to the song, I'm safe, I'm good. And also, write down a couple of names of songs in your phone, because trust me, every single time someone hands me the karaoke machine, I literally switch off. My brain doesn't remember a song at all. I just go, nope, songs? What's that? And also, what's probably going to happen is if you're British, like me, or if you're American, a Japanese man is going to come up to you and say, sing this song and sing it right now. And you are expected to know the full catalogue of, if you're British, the Beatles, and if you're American, probably Elvis. Elvis is a big one that they really like. I've had people request me sing Elvis before, and I've had to sing it, and I don't get asked again because they realise how bad I am at singing. They take the karaoke machine away from me, they give a bow, and then they walk away. And I go, well, there we go. But after doing it for a couple of times, you will find that there are some songs that you are not terrible at. My 2 are Help and My Way by Frank Sinatra. Of course, My Way, that's a closer. That's my last one that I do. And Help, I've realised I'm not too bad at. And then you want to have a couple of more mixed in. You really want 3 or 4 karaoke songs. You do 1, 2, 3, you finish, you leave, karaoke is done. And the final karaoke place is an actual designated like karaoke booth that you're going to go to. These are fun. You'll normally be going with like a work party or something, or with some friends. You just sit in the booth, you just do the karaoke. They're all your friends. You don't really have to worry about it too much. There's a nice little button, if you're in a good one, there's a button that you can call to get drinks to come. You can have some more drinks. The more drinks you have, the better you get at karaoke, and life gets a whole lot easier. Trust me, the more you drink, the better everyone sounds at karaoke, including me. So we've got some next couple of stuffs coming on. Oh, it's getting close to the time of year where Japan's New Year's starts, and this is a weird one. I'd say in March, all of my students or third year students, they disappear forever. I never see them again after that. That's them gone. They're out of my life forever, dead. It's a weird job being a teacher. You spend so much time with these students, and then one year they're just like, okay, we're going out, and then leave, and then you never see them again. Very, very, very strange. Sometimes, like this week, I saw an old student in the supermarket, and I was like, oh, how's high school? And they said, good. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. That's what I like to hear. And then that is all I will ever know from their life after that. And it's a weird time, this sort of time for me, because I'm not that busy at the moment. The last couple of months, they have a high school test, which all of my students have just had, and it's a big test. If they fail it, then I don't know what happens to them. It's not like in the UK where you have a lot of options. I think they still have choices to go to a high school, but it's not as easy as if they get like great grades. And especially here in Toshima, if you get really, really good grades on like these high school tests, you can go off the island somewhere. You can go to some really, really nice schools. But if you don't have the money to go off the island, or you don't get good grades, then you stay in Toshima, which is nothing wrong with Toshima. The high schools here, I believe, is still pretty good. I've never been to it, but my friends tell me it's pretty good. But it's a weird time because I'm not as busy as I was. The last couple of months have been just busy, especially trying to get one student to write their name, and that's a special needs student. But I think we got there. I hope his test went all right. But just for the entry into high school, even if you have learning disabilities, they want you to be able to pass this test. You have to do Japanese, some maths, and need to be able to do Romanji, and I believe some very, very basic English questions or some English writing. So he would have to write the name of the town that he lives in English, or like Romanji, the English characters, and he would have to write his name, where he's from, a few bits like that. And we spent the last 6 months just trying to get him to write his name. So I hope that goes all right. I really do. I hope he gets into high school. We put the work in. We did everything we could. So fingers crossed that works out. I have no idea what's going to happen with it. I just hope it all goes well. I really do. Hopefully, fingers crossed that one. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to go. It could go either way. Depends if there was a good day or a bad day had by the student. Really, really good. But I think he's going to do all right. Fingers crossed for you there. What else has been going on here? Oh, we've been eating a lot of yakiniku recently, even though it's not summer. When it's freezing cold, there's nothing better than to have a barbecue. And oh, baby, yakiniku is the best food in the world. I will say I went to one place recently with someone, and it's the first time I felt very I was like, I don't know if I should eat this or cook it. And normally at yakiniku is like a barbecue party. So you fry the meat, and you cook it in front of yourself. It's a lot of fun. When I first came to Japan, I always thought, what was the point of going to a restaurant and then cooking the meat yourselves? I go to a restaurant to have someone cook it for me, but I didn't realize it's actually, it's like a team thing. It's kind of like it's a good way to get to know someone because you are both doing something together. There's things that you're doing, so there's good things to talk about while you're doing it, all the meat and stuff. And you get to try all these different meats that you wouldn't get to try otherwise. There's some horse meat yakiniku ones, if that's what you're into. There are all sorts of yakiniku, Korean ones, all these different barbecues here in Japan. And if you come here, try them all, because the different food is very good. There was one, though, which I wasn't sure what to do with. And it was like this very beautiful cut of beef. And the person gave it to me, and they were like, go on, go on, here you are. And I was looking at it like, am I meant to eat this raw or am I meant to cook this? And I did the classic British thing of how to get out of it. I went, oh, please, after you first. You try it first. Because I thought, I'm going to watch what you do. And then if you eat it and it's good, then I don't have to worry about it. And if you put it on the old frying thing, then I go, sweet. I've got out of it. But then they started to eat it and I went, I've got to eat this raw. And I tried it and I went, yeah, still not a fan of raw meat. And the meat was pretty expensive as well. So after eating it, I was like, that would have tasted way better cooking it. I am definitely have not gone on the train for raw meat. There's a lot of Japanese food here that I now eat because of living in Japan that I wouldn't have eaten before. A lot of sushi, a lot of fish. Now even raw meat, I'm like, yeah, that's not me. I'm still not reached that level of Japanese peak yet. I can't do it. I even get worried when I'm like cooking stuff. Even though Japan has a lot better higher meat safety rating, I believe they don't have salmonella out here, so that is pretty good. Or if they do have salmonella, it's very, very low. But I just don't want to do it. I don't want to eat raw meat. It doesn't taste good. It does not. I don't like the texture in my mouth. It's gross. It's gross. Absolutely disgusting. I was going to make a gross joke there, but I'm not going to. I'm better than that. I lost a bit of weight here in Japan. Since coming here, I am probably about 20 kilos down in weight. I did go down a little bit and then I went back up and then I started changing some things and then I lost some more weight. So the things that I did to lose weight here in Japan were, when I came, I was probably about 90 kilos. A lot of that was because COVID was still going on when I just got here. And I also broke my foot literally. I broke my foot 6 months before I came here, and it took me 3 months to get over it. And then I couldn't run. I couldn't run properly for a year, 2 years after breaking my foot. Even sometimes now when I wake up in the morning, my foot's a bit sore. So that made me put on a lot of weight because I couldn't do any exercise. I tried going to the gym a couple of times, but I like doing cardio, and doing the weights for me with a broken foot, just not fun. And I was always worried that I'm going to drop away onto my foot and then really, really screw it up, because it really, really did hurt my foot when I broke it. But the things that I've done to lose the weight are, I stopped eating kushoku. This is, I think, Japan's biggest myth out there, that Japanese kushoku is good for you. It can be good for you. Some days, the kushoku, the school lunches, are very good and they're tasty, they're good. My favorite day is the curry day. Everyone loves the curry day. It's so freaking good. I love a good curry, especially in the winter when it's cold. Baby, that is so good. But on 2 days here in Toshima, they are so calorie heavy, it's crazy. And that is normally a Tuesday and a Thursday, and those are bread days. And being a teacher here, what will normally happen is when the food comes out, you will be given a portion. And then as a teacher, they're sort of expected you to eat extra, because if someone's sick, and by the way, if you're in a school, someone is always sick. There's always 2 or 3 people who are not here. They've missed the day. They've gone to the dentist. So there's always extra kushoku around. Always, always, always. It's very rare that they don't give people extra food at the end. I've only seen it maybe once or twice, and some days half the school is sick, especially in the flu season. But anyway, so as a teacher, you'll almost be given like double portion of food. And I was finding some days I was eating the kushoku and then just getting so tired at my desk that I just couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. If I didn't have a lesson in the 5th period and I was stuck in my in the staff room like doing stuff, I would be literally struggling to keep myself awake because I've just eaten like 1,000 calories, 2 long like baguettes of bread and whatever else has been going on. So I stopped eating that, and that really helped. I really saw my weight like drop very, very quickly not eating that. And in the morning I don't eat breakfast. So I get to my lunch, which I cook for myself. I normally try and bring in normally I'm not the best cook in the world, so I can make 3 or 4 meals and I alternate these meals. I bring in a salad, I bring in I will bring in, most of the time it's a salad, tuna salad or chicken salad, and then after that I will bring in a chicken stir fry, or pretty much consistently chicken stir fry. Then I have like a katsu curry, which I like doing. That is a great day when I bring that in. That's a nice little lunch. And then also I have pretty much everything else is just like a version of a stir fry, or just meat, noodles, and whatever. I use different noodles. Sometimes I use these like Korean noodles, which are white, which are really nice, and pasta ones. And just doing that, the weight is slowly going down and down. I will say the last like month or two, it's been very cold here in Tsushima, so I haven't been exercising it as much, and I've been eating really poorly on the weekends and drinking a little bit too much. That's got to be cut out. So that's gone back up just a little bit. But I found just not eating kushoku, really, really good way to slowly get the weight down. And hopefully come summer, I'll have my swimsuit body, which I've dreamed of having for 31 years, but it will never come. It will never come. I've tried for 31 years to get it, and I still haven't got it. But who knows? We're getting one step closer every single day, and every night I have a beer, I move one step even closer into the wrong direction. But I've decided to take a month of drinking this month. I think I might be going to Korea at the sort of end of next month, just when the school term finishes and we move and all the kids go away. We have a little bit of time in the office to sort of hang around and do whatever we can get done. And I'm going to go to Korea for that time, or I'm going to go somewhere in Japan. I haven't fully decided yet. I need to look at the tickets, but I've decided no more drinking for a month. I got to let the old body rest because I've been drinking too much, and probably chances are my health check is coming. And normally what happens every single time, I've had 2 health checks here in Japan, and both times what has happened is I've booked a big trip away with family, friends, or whatever. So I've been drinking pretty much almost for a week straight because I'm on holiday, having a good time. And then what happens is, bang, then I have my health check. I get my blood tested, whatever. And then they go, oh, everything's perfect, but your liver's looking a bit bad, and this is looking a bit bad. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised it's looking a bit bad. I've pretty much been drinking all week. And then they asked me, so tell me, how much do you normally drink? Because it says here on your thing that you normally only drink sort of every now and again. And I'm like, yeah, I do only normally drink every now and again, but I've just come off like a week of just drinking. I don't normally do this. I swear, doctor. And they look at me and go, yeah, we always add double to what you say anyway. So I'm like, well, I can't win. I've been having, whatever you do, you can't win. But I'm keeping fit, I'm losing weight, we're moving in the right direction. So that's that. Oh, a couple of months ago, I can't remember if I told you this, just before the new year, I was on my way to work and the taxi crashed into another car. And it's interesting being in a traffic accident in Japan, and also being very fortunate that the whole car was nothing to do with me, and I didn't even have to worry about what was going to happen to this car. So it was very narrow roads in Tsushima, mountain paths. The taxi, I was in the back sleeping, and then all I hear is the taxi driver go, and then I look up, and then the taxi slams into it. I was wearing a hat, that went flying off. My glasses did a 360 and somehow managed to clip onto my seatbelt, which was pretty amazing. I wanted to get a record of that because the way it must have done it was cool. My bag with my laptop in went flying across into the boot somehow, and everyone else involved in the taxi was fine. Taxi driver was fine. The other car, I believe they were fine. I hope they were fine. I got out, asked if they were all right. Everything was good. And what happened, because I was in the taxi driver phoned for another taxi to come and get me. The police came. They asked me a couple of questions, and I was like, I don't know. I was asleep. I have no idea what really happened. All I know was that we were on the road. I was having a nap, and that was it. And then I got to go on my merry way, and I looked at both cars being totaled, and I went, I'm so glad that I don't have any more responsibilities over this. I was like, I'm done. I'm finished. I've got the best experience of a car crash that you can have. I was like, I don't hurt. My body's fine. Everything's good. I was like, life is good, baby. But I will say, every time I drive down that road, I get a little bit anxious, because every time I look at it, it's such a narrow road, and there's a bend there, and I'm almost like, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here comes another crash. And then I go, oh no, safe. In fact, today, that crash happened for about 3 months ago. And today is the first day that I was driving along there going, oh, I'm not too nervous about this anymore. I'm still a little bit. But when I first got it, I was getting properly stressed about going down that road again. I was like, here it comes. We're going to have another one. Here comes the big one. That was just the test. But so far, so good. And the funny thing about it was, if you're watching this for the first time, I wrote a book called The Beauty of Japan. And in that book, a teacher gets killed by a car crash right by that grave. And then this whole story comes in. And literally where the grave is so close to where I crashed, it was almost spot for spot written where it happened. So I was just going there like, this is fate. I wrote about this story. I didn't even live here when this happened. And now I'm going to be the one who gets killed in a car crash. And it will be this whole irony. And then maybe I'll get some more book sales. But it won't matter because I will be dead. And then the book will just be pointless. What? There we go. A writer's life for you is never fun. But that is pretty much all the stuff I wanted to talk about today. I'm very glad to be back doing a podcast again. It feels very good. I've got some more shorts hopefully coming out in the next couple of days. Apologies for taking sort of 2 months off. Not all of it was taken off. I started doing some different things. I started experimenting with a couple of different channels. One is just an English teaching channel, which I haven't quite got my head around yet. I'm trying to work out what levels of thing I need to do, how I can make the videos, and how I can make the videos not take so long to edit, because I put up a couple of videos and they have taken me so long to edit because it's a different style I'm not used to doing, adding so much text onto words I'm not good at, and I need to find a way to speed that up. But I've been trying out that, and I also just recently found a way that I can translate my videos into Japanese. So I was experimenting with some of them, trying out different Japanese fonts, how the subtitles work, and that took me 3 or 4 days just to get my head around that. And by all of a sudden, bing bang bosh, I wanted to make lots of videos this year, and bang, we're already in March, and I just can't believe that we're in March. It's crazy. This year is just flying by. I can't believe that I lived here in Izahara now for July 7 months. It feels like I literally just moved here yesterday. This time has just gone so quickly and it's crazy. It really, really is. But I want to say to everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. I will be back in the next couple of days. I really want to get on a consistent thing with this, but at the moment, everything is a little bit inconsistent with what's going on with me work-wise and a few other things going on. So once that gets sorted out, hopefully I can get on a proper consistent thing. But hopefully I will see you again sometime this week. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your week, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.